Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the pathway to medical school. So the past couple of days I've been talking about my journey in medical school. Today I'm going to be talking about final year of medical school and life after being a graduate. Final year of medical school was actually a good year, a good year. 2019, starting around May, it was good. That's when I left China and I went to Botswana to go do my electives for 1 year. Because as a Chinese student or person who studied in China, you're required to do 1 year of elective, of which you can choose which country to go to, or you can even stay in China. So I chose to go do my electives in Botswana. So when I was in Botswana doing my elective, I started with internal medicine. From internal medicine I went to surgery, pediatrics, and then I finished in gynae throughout the year. But when I was there in Botswana, it was really good. That's when I started putting the gap between what we've learned in China and also things that I haven't learned yet, or things I've never done before. So I was kind of merging the gap between the two, of which I would say it was very helpful. And while I was doing my electives, come 2020, the coronavirus happens. It's literally everywhere around the world, and I'm supposed to be graduating in a couple of months. First, the coronavirus happens in China. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have time to go back to China, graduate, and so forth. So mind you, when I left my electives, I actually left some of my stuff in China with the hope that I'm going back to China to do what? To graduate, and once I graduate, I'll get everything and then go back home. Why did Corona say that? My friend, you are not going back to China. So I'm in Botswana, it's approaching May. State of emergency in Botswana happens. They tell us that no one is traveling anywhere. So I'm in lockdown in Botswana doing my electives, and I'm left with like a week or so. So I decided to just stay behind and continue helping out at the wards and learning some more new things. And then it was time for us to write our final year exam. So that was the time that I actually packed everything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop going to the hospital, stay at home, revise. You know, when you've been working for like a year doing electives or whatever, you're studying, but you're not studying. You're working and you're doing everything according to the guidelines of the place you're in, and things are different when you learn those guidelines and when you learn stuff in China. During the exam, they won't consider that. You have to be talking about or answering according to the Chinese guidelines or standards. So I took that time to actually just stay home, remind myself of the guidelines, remind myself of everything that I've learned in China in medical school, right from the third year until my final year. So yeah, exam time came. Once exam time came, we wrote our exams, of which they were online, but they were so tricky. This online system, it's very helpful, but it can be quite tricky sometimes. So yeah, thank God we're able to write our final year exams online, and yeah, it worked out quite well because I passed and I was officially a doctor. Unfortunately, I couldn't go back to China to go do my graduation ceremony, and the graduation ceremony that was online, I couldn't attend. So basically, I'm a graduate without a graduation. And what can I do? There is nothing I can literally do. So I continue with life. So I had a choice actually. Rather stay in Botswana, try to my internship, or I go back home and wait for the board exams to open, or I just find another country that's open and I go do my internship there. And I started doing a lot of research on a lot of countries. I did the whole of SADC. I started going to East Africa, West Africa, then I weighed all my options, I weighed all my disadvantages and advantages, and I would say I finally chose Tanzania. And throughout my processes of applying to Tanzania, I got my certificates from TCU, which is the Tanzanian Commission of Universities, but at the same time I was still in Botswana, so I had to find a way to get out of the country. So firstly, South Africa was closed. I couldn't go back home, or I have to sign up for repatriation, of which it was a tedious process. So going home was not an option. There were no flights outside of Botswana, so I had to find a way to go through another country until I got to Tanzania. Throughout my process of going to Tanzania, the travel wasn't bad. The only bad thing about that was that I got to lose my bags. I arrived in Tanzania and I stayed for like a month of doing literally nothing. I would say it was a good month because that's the time I actually got to go around the country, go to the beach, you know, enjoy myself, of which is something that I've never ever done. Since medical school until now, I've never gotten time to just go to the beach, walk around the beach, go to town, literally just do nothing. So that was my 1 month of doing nothing. So that's my life after medical school, doing nothing and actually being happy about it. Once I was done doing nothing, it was time for the medical council to open. So the medical council opened and I applied for my internship, and thankfully I got one of my first options where I wanted to do my internship, of which it was so amazing. And currently I'm not complaining and I'm enjoying my internship. It's hard, but it's life. I'm enjoying it. And that's my final year of medical school. The sad and the good, and yeah, being a graduate that didn't graduate or didn't have a graduate ceremony. That's what they call me in my family. But yeah, I got the title and all the hard work that I put in have finally paid off, and I'm happy about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys learned a lot from it. And with that said, have a good one and let's call it a day. Till next time. Cheers.